So I'm going to be a little late to the party by the time this is uploaded. I just got out of work. It is currently like 2 a.m. I work pretty late, but Smackdown was on tonight. And I didn't get to watch the full episode, but I did get to watch some parts of it. And then after I got out for a quick minute, I went through, gathered as much information as to what happened. And I'm just going to compile a little video real quick, just basically giving my my views and my thoughts on everything that happened on SmackDown tonight. So let's just kick it off immediately. So the show kicked off with Nick Aldis, the general manager of SmackDown, coming out and announcing that the match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre that was announced earlier on in the day was going to be now a #1 contender match. Basically meaning Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. Whoever wins that was going to face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. We'll get to that back later on. After that, we get Cody Rhodes coming out, cutting a promo, basically saying that he is ready for no matter who wins that match, whether it be Jacob Fatu, whether it be Drew McIntyre. He basically just came out and he said, I am ready to go. Let's do it. So then we go into our second segment of the night, which was the Sami Zayn Open Challenge. It was Sami Zayn pretty much doing his same Open Challenge that he's done, and he did it in a pretty cool way tonight. I gotta say, his championship reign has been one of my favorite United States Championship reigns, of all time. Because not of all time, but like in recent time. I'm sorry, my brain's kind of like all over the place right now, just because I'm trying to record this quickly and get it out. But yeah, his reign has been pretty good for the past couple months. He's put on really, really good television matches, free television matches, might I add. So, like I said, it's been really good. They've had all sorts of open challenges. We had John Cena kick it off. We had an Aleister Black open challenge. We had a Carmelo Hayes open challenge. And then tonight, we had the open challenge pretty much kick off with The Miz coming out, accepting the open challenge. But just like we saw last week, Carmelo Hayes attacked The Miz from behind. Now, and it's weird because a lot of people are saying that Carmelo Hayes is the babyface, which is kind of the information that I'm gathering as well. Carmelo Hayes and Miz is pretty much going to be a feud that's going to be continuing on. So, I'm kind of excited to see where exactly that goes. But it still left us with no open challenge contender, as Carmelo Hayes and The Miz just kind of ran off into the backstage, kind of like brawling and everything. So we're waiting. Sami Zayn's waiting in the ring, and all of a sudden we hear the music of Ilja freaking Dragunov. The Mad Dragon is back. He came back tonight. I did not get to see the full match, but from what I saw, it looked like a brutal but really damn good match from both guys, from Ilja and Sami both. And it actually ended up with a shock ending by Ilja Dragunov picking up the win. Now, in becoming the new United States champion. Now, he didn't quite do it just completely by himself. Solo ended up coming out there and kind of taunting Sami Zayn, and I could tell that was kind of like buying some time for Ilja Dragunov to kind of get back into it. So then after that, Ilja Dragunov went for a move, Sami reversed it, was going for a haluva kick, and then out of nowhere, Ilja Dragunov hit a Torpedo Moscow and then an H-bomb, and he pinned him 1, 2, 3, new United States champion. I absolutely loved it. I was so happy to see that they actually fucking pulled the trigger on Ilja Dragunov. I thought really they were just going to bring him back just to lose to Sami Zayn. I think a lot of people would have been like, oh, again, Sami, here we go, but this is something different that they're doing. A lot of people are saying, and there's rumors going around, that AI is starting to write WWE stories. If that's the case, bravo AI, you're doing a better job than the writers have done in the past couple months. So yeah, we get into that, and then at the end of the match, Sami Zayn's in the ring congratulating Ilja Dragunov, basically saying, you earned it, and what was a pretty damn good match. Brutal one too. So if you did not get to watch it, I would say go back, try and watch it. I'm probably going to try and watch it once I get home, just so I can see the full thing. But like I said, end of the match, after they're in the ring celebrating, the MFT, Solo, Tama, Tongaloa, Tonga, there's so many fucking Bloodline members and MFT members. It's so hard to keep track of all their names, and their names all sound so freaking similar. But the whole MFT just started attacking both of them and just beat the crap out of both of them. And that brings us into a Solo Sikoa promo. Solo's cutting a promo basically saying that the MFTs are coming back for the gold, and they want their gold back, and they're going for it. And then they get interrupted by the Wyatt Six. Now, I didn't get to see this full segment, but I did see bits and pieces of it on Instagram just as the night was going on. Basically, Bo Dallas cut a promo on them, basically telling them, what they seek, they will find, and when you open the door, or when you knock, we're going to open the door, and that's not always a good thing. So I believe we definitely are going to get this feud. Now, this very well could be a pivot. I don't know. We might get the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six in War Games this year, actually, which a lot of people were thinking it was going to be the faction division versus a babyface team. And as you'll see in a video that's going up later in the morning today, I predicted that we are still going to get the Vision versus some sort of babyface team. But I don't know. The way they're kind of setting things up, we might not get that. We might get that. I don't know. We'll just have to keep on watching throughout the weeks. So then after that, we go on to the Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton segment. Basically, Kiana James is basically, the reason why I didn't, want to pick you or want to represent you is because I knew you didn't have what it takes to beat Stephanie Vacquer. And Kathy Kelly did a good interview on Tiffany Stratton, basically saying, after losing to Stephanie Vacquer, does it affect you in any way? And she's like, no, I've been undefeated for, the better part of a year. I'm not going to let it define one loss isn't going to define who I am. And especially not to somebody like Stephanie Vacquer. Like I said, Kiana James basically said, I've got what it takes, after Tiffany was kind of telling her, well, you just represent, so you don't really play a factor in this. But then Kiana James basically said that she could handle that she could handle Tiffany Stratton. So we are very likely to get Tiffany Stratton. We are going to get Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James next week. And I'm sure that'll be a great match. I don't see Tiffany losing, to be honest with you. But I feel like they're just going to run this match just kind of to get out of the way. Maybe as a build-up into getting Stephanie versus... Maybe as a build-up way of getting Stephanie... Or not Stephanie. God, I keep saying that. Sorry, the cop just drove by. I flashed his lights at me because I had my brights on. Sorry. But, I feel like we are going to get eventually Julia, the Women's United States Champion, and then against Tiffany Stratton, the Women's Undisputed Champion, for both titles. And it could be a winner-take-all, could just be a, one-for-one championship match. We'll have to see. But then after that, we go into the tag team match between Motor City Machine Guns versus Humberto and Angel Garza. And I didn't get to see this match, but it looked like it would have been pretty good. Both teams are phenomenal in the ring, so I expect nothing less than a good match. And then finally, we ended up getting to, and forgive me if I'm missing anything, but finally we end up getting to the main event. We end up getting to Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre, and Jacob Fatu's music hits, and it's playing, the Titantron's playing, and keeps on playing. And after a while, I was kind of starting to see, okay, they're not doing this match, as a lot of reports have been coming out that Jacob Fatu is going to be out indefinitely with a non-wrestling related injury. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to speculate what that is. Some people are saying it's this, some people are saying it's that. It could be any mix of things. But like I said, he doesn't come out. We cut to backstage, the cameras are running around, and then they show Jacob Fatu laying on the ground, mouth all bloody, blood completely in front of, Jacob Fatu as he's laying on the ground, and they pretty much just wrote Jacob Fatu off the TV. Drew McIntyre standing in the ring, he's basically saying, I'm the winner now, I need to, the ref raised my hand, announced me as the number one contender. Cody says, I'm tired of hearing you talk. We're not doing it that way. Cody comes out, pretty much challenges Drew McIntyre to a championship match right there. I also didn't get to see this match, but I kind of got to see bits and pieces of it. But it looked like to me it was a good match. For some reason, Cody wrestled the entire match in just his suit. I don't exactly know why, but he did. So I thought that kind of made it for a little bit of a difference right there. The match ended, though, in a strange way, which isn't normal for a lot of Cody Rhodes matches, but it ended in DQ after Cody used the championship to hit Drew McIntyre over the head with it, and then they kept on brawling, and SmackDown goes off the air with them in a pull-apart brawl. Honestly, yeah, seemed like a pretty good episode. I feel like if AI is writing these storylines now, then they are doing a hell of a job, and they need to be paying that AI company quite a bit of money, I'll tell you that, because SmackDown the past couple weeks has been pretty solid, and then Monday Night Raw was pretty solid, and Crown Jewel was pretty solid, so honestly, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see where things go on both brands. Like I said, if you did not get to check out that Ilja Dragunov versus Sami Zayn match, please go ahead, even watch the highlights of it. It looked just phenomenal as hell, and I can't wait to see where they go with Ilja Dragunov holding the United States Championship. I kind of like this open challenge format that they have for the United States Championship. I hope they maybe keep it up. I doubt it, though. You never know. We'll just have to see. But, yep, that's really all I got to talk about SmackDown and everything. Like I said, later this morning, I have a video going up, me predicting what's going to go down between the whole World Heavyweight Championship situation over on Raw, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and sorry it's so rushed and I'm so frantic, but I'm just trying to film it as I'm driving home and before I make it home. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.